on digital radio, on the app, on your smartphone, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The Donut Bag presented by The Sportscast.
The Donut Bag, hosted by Joey Bag of Donuts. And here's your host, Joey Bag of Donuts.
I will never get tired.
It's such a hip, like, it reminds me of those Mike Myers movies. The British
Friday the
guy.
13th.
No, not Michael. I initially said Michael Myers, but I meant Mike Myers.
Austin Powers.
Right, Austin Powers. Yes, right. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Oh man.
What do we talk about?
What's there to talk about? I don't know. It's so boring. I didn't even have one for like the last 2 or 3 weeks because there's like nothing going on, and I was tired of for 3 months saying the same damn thing. Like, when do you think Aaron Rodgers is gonna sign? Well, he finally did.
He did.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? I got it. Came in. It came in today. I got my Aaron Rodgers jersey.
Did you really?
Check it out. Check it out.
I have to see if I still have my Pickett jersey. I'm presuming that was a Pickett jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many Steelers fans right now are taking their Kenny Pickett jersey and just making it Rodgers? And you know what? I'm okay with this. I'm okay. Like I thought this would be really stupid if I wore this in public. Like, no, I think people would understand. Like, hey,
pretty good. I have to see if I still have mine. I may just copy off your trend and do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully nobody copies off your trend of wearing a bag over your head because the team sucks so bad. I remember you've done that a few years.
I have, yes. Jeez.
Hopefully.
What's the next thing to talk about? Like, what are we and a lot of people have already, a lot of media and fans have already been, because we knew this was going to happen, right? So all we've done over the past few months is wonder what it's going to be like when he comes here. So now there's just going to be more of that. Like, is he going to be good? Is he going to be bad? Or is he going to, you know what I mean? Like, is he going to be, nobody knows.
We're in such a weird situation. I mean, let's go back to say, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I don't want to go back too far because we have to deal with COVID, but let's go back a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And if somebody from 2025 came and said, okay, when Ben retires, they're going to draft somebody. It's like, okay, who are they going to draft? Kenny Pickett. Okay, cool. He's going to be awesome, right? No, that's going to be a disaster. Then we're getting Mitch Trubisky, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers. Like, come on, you're messing with me. If someone from 5 years in the future did come, I hope they don't just tell me about the Steelers quarterback situation. I would be like, like dump all your Bitcoin or something like give me something useful. Like, give me the next 5 Super Bowl winners or something like that. Not who's what's gonna happen with the Steelers quarterback. But, it's a wild situation, and it just
but that loving stare between Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin now makes a lot more sense. That was a few years ago, but I mean, there was talk then, before he went to the Jets that he might come to Pittsburgh, and now it's, fast forward and it's here.
And a few years ago, when they were doing those loving stares, I remember saying, we don't want Aaron Rodgers. He's too old. He's only 30. He's 38. That's too old for a quarterback.
Right.
Fast forward 3 years.
Yeah.
He was too old back then. What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be interesting because you wonder about the offensive line, right? Are they going to be able to piece it together, with Fotanu and Roderick Jones, if they can stay healthy this year and they, Jones is at his natural position, you know what I mean? Are things going to gel? Are they going to be able to keep Aaron Rodgers upright? And that's just the offense, right? You have to wonder about the defense. Our secondary has been kind of shitty, poopy for a while. And, we need those kind of performer, we need interception things, to give Aaron Rodgers the ball more. So we'll see what happens with all that.
I didn't pay attention to anything you said because I just realized I didn't do the intro. Okay. Welcome to the Donut Bag Podcast, part of the Sportscast Network. Welcome to everybody joining us live. If you want to join in on the conversation, join us on the YouTube channel. And while you're at it, please like and subscribe. The YouTube channel is just my name, Joey Bag of Donuts, with V instead of an F. I really hope we get comments, because the next thing I want to talk about is basically why people are so mad. But let's address what you just talked about. What is this team like? Is this going to work? Let's assume that he's going to be healthy. Is this going to work? And what you said first is exactly what I've been saying. And it's not even just the offensive line. It's one guy, Broderick Jones. The entire team rests on Broderick Jones.
Right.
If he's good, assuming Fautanu is going to be good, and we're assuming Frazier and McCormick and whoever they have in the offensive line, we're assuming they're going to be good and be better, and they can protect. Rodgers can do his thing. The offense will be better. We assume the defense will be better. We assume, we hope, but I think overall, this is a better team than a year ago.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's, for me, I feel like, maturity issues aside, I don't really know. I feel like the whole Metcalf Pickens thing, I sort of see that as a wash. I don't know that an older Metcalf is, gonna be any better than a younger Pickens, if that makes any sense. And we still don't know. We still, because we got rid of Pickens, we still, like, the whole wide receiver 2 thing is up in the air. Although there's talk of Gabe Davis and some tight ends, which the whole tight end thing that's something that puzzles me. I'm sure it does you too, and the fans that are watching the show. Don't we have Freiermuth and a guy named Mount Washington? Like, I know Jonnu Smith and even talk of Kyle Pitts would be an upgrade, over Washington. But what's the point of Mount Washington being there and being as giant as he is and us not using him?
That's a mystery. Well, Mount Washington I can understand, because he's basically a giant blob. I think he's there for his blocking, even though to me he looks like Godzilla. And really, all he has to do is walk a few steps, turn around, and put his hands up, and you should easily be able, like he's unstoppable. Like the man is Godzilla. When I went to training camp, and I don't know if you saw, you probably did, the picture today of they went to golf together. I guess the team went to golf together. There was a Cam Hayward thing. Yeah, they went golfing together. And actually, there was a picture of Aaron Rodgers with his arm around DK Metcalf in a golf cart. But anyway, they had like all of them, like whoever was there, whoever the players were there. And there was, like, I don't know, a lot of them. Anyway, Calvin Austin is about the size of this drink. I mean, he is a tiny, tiny man. But Darnell Washington he's a giant. He is basically Godzilla. Yeah. And I don't understand why they don't use him more. But another mystery is, you would think in a Arthur Smith offense would feature the tight end. The tight end is supposed to be like the main part of this Arthur Smith offense. Right. Freiermuth didn't really have that good of a year. Like, no. Hey, bro, maybe you're not that good. I don't know. Right. That was a little concerning. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And again, we had a mishmash at quarterback, the whole quarterback thing since Ben Roethlisberger retired. It's just been a conundrum. Like, what the hell are we doing here? What is going on? But again, 2026. I think it's all about 2026. It's all about 2026. In the Berg, right? They want to make a big spectacle of it. They have all these draft picks. I think a good portion of Steelers fans are happy about this Rodgers signing, not because, hey, he's going to be good, but hey, he's going to be bad, and then we're going to be bad, and we're going to have a good draft pick for 2026. Yay, the future. There was
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, Khan and a lot of people have said this, you know what I mean? That he, this past draft was all about him, collecting capital, gathering all of everything that he could, to be able to trade up, because they're not going to be, I don't think they're going to be bad enough to pick in the top 10, like, naturally, right? They haven't been bad enough to pick in the top 10 like that in a while. What, since Devin Bush?
You'd
right?
have to be for this team to pick in the top 10, they would have to have like some catastrophic injuries, like
Right.
Aaron Rodgers and Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
And TJ
DK
Watts
Metcalf.
and
Right.
DK, like a
Yeah.
whole bunch of people. Like they'd have to. I don't even want to speak it into
Right,
existence,
no.
but yeah, something
Right.
something really bad would have to happen for them to
Yeah.
go like 4-13 or some crazy thing
Right,
like that.
right.
That's just not happening.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, the team should be better. They got to address wide receiver too.
Yeah.
But, and I think you got to think Omar Khan learned his damn lesson.
You
with
would
the
think
whole
so.
Brandon Ayuk thing. You can't
Right.
just say, oh, because now who's the new Brandon Ayuk? Terry McLaurin. Oh,
Right.
Terry McLaurin. He's mad about a contract thing, and maybe he wants to get traded. We've read this story, buddy. We've read it. There's no. I'm like whoever you want to believe how close Ayuk was to coming here.
Right.
In the end, we just got played. We just got used.
Oh, we got played big time.
So I'm not falling for this again. I would love Terry McLaurin, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know when I think if I don't know when it would happen. I don't know when it would happen, because here's my thing. You have a whole bunch of new coaches everywhere. They could go through either mini camp or the beginning of training camp and say, dude, I don't like this guy. Let's just trade him or something like that. So that's how they could get something. They could get something in a trade.
Yeah, it does happen.
There's Keenan Allen. There's who else? Amari Cooper.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
A bunch of sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Thirds.
Yeah. DK Metcalf. Yeah. DK Metcalf on the sloppy seconds. So yeah. Well, we'll see. But I want to talk about why. Anytime I've done a poll about, are you happy? If Aaron Rodgers comes, will you be happy? Or are you happy that they signed? 60% of people say no.
Right.
People are angry about this. I don't really understand why. Now, when it first happened, and when he went on the McAfee show and said, hey, I'm dealing with personal stuff, leave me alone, or whatever, I'm thinking, God. And when
that was a really good Aaron Rodgers, by the way. You sounded just like him.
Yeah, that's what I plan on doing with my Aaron Rodgers jersey. I'm just gonna go around. It's like I'm a spitting image of him. But and when it first happened, I did say, it's like, he's holding the Steelers hostage or whatever. Well, we know that wasn't the case. We know they had a deal for a long time.
A gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. And yes, it was a bad look for the Steelers to wait this long, but they were clearly okay with it. You have Rooney saying, oh yeah, he's coming. I mean, he didn't say it in those words, but they were all saying, and it's like, pretty sure this is happening. So so that was part of why I wasn't crazy about it. Like, he didn't seem like he wanted to be here. But then there's also this thing, well, he thinks he's really weird, and I don't like his politics or whatever. Like, why the hell do you care about what somebody thinks?
Right.
Throw the damn ball. I care about whether he throws touchdowns. That's
right. Yeah. Rocky Blyer and Mason Rudolph doing the whole Trump thing. You know what I mean?
If you don't like Aaron Rodgers because of his politics, you might not like Mason Rudolph because of his politics either.
And because of his mustache, but we won't go there.
If
it was a couple years ago, if it was something where Rodgers came from the Packers to the Steelers, you know what I mean? Like his post-Packers years, I think the Jets thing sort of like, I mean, everybody's sort of, you know, he played the diva in Green Bay as well, you know, not attending camps and things for whatever reasons. And, but I just think that, you know, a lot of people they just don't want that. You know, we're such a blue collar, you know what I mean? Like, just the organization itself is just not. When you think, you know, you don't think that you would say that it would ever say Aaron Rodgers and Pittsburgh Steelers in the same sentence, right? And it's actually happened, and I think it's just a lot of people are just sour about it, and they don't really have any factual basis to it other than they just don't like him.
See, I mean,
and he beat us in the Super Bowl.
You hear about things like, well, let's see what Dave says. They gives us something to talk about. Last season it was a wide receiver, now quarterback. He comes across when he says things like, I go on a darkness retreat, or I take Hayabusa or ayahuasca or whatchamacallit, or I don't know what I don't know what he does.
Psychedelics.
So yeah. You think, wow, what a weirdo, or he's so weird, and he's just, you know, some of the beliefs. Like, I don't care what you do, dude.
Right.
I care about when you show up on the field. I care about if you throw touchdowns. If you throw touchdowns, I'm gonna like you. If you don't you throw interceptions, I'm not gonna like you. It's that simple.
Yeah. And Rodgers doesn't really turn the ball over very much, so hopefully he'll continue that.
He's like the historic, like, greatest ever at it or something like that.
Right, yeah.
Like he never throws an interception or something.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just very interested to see how because he has a press conference tomorrow.
Yeah, he does.
I'm very interested to see, because that's all I wanted was I just wanted him to say something nice about us, or that he would be excited to come here. And when he did that McAfee interview, it was more like, it was basically him justifying why he's taking, you know, he's not signing anywhere. And I mean, he did have nice things to say about the you know, Mike Tomlin and the Steelers or something like that. But you know, I just want him to say, you know, I'm excited to be here. Let's go win a championship. Let's do this or whatever. I just want him to, you know, maybe throw in a yins, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Would it kill you to eat a Permane sandwich, Aaron Rodgers? Or you can't, you know, I don't think that dude has ever had a French fry, like, probably in the last 20 years. No. But still.
Yeah, he definitely needs to endear himself to Steelers fans. Like, he's got a lot of work to do to win over Steeler Nation, right? Steelers Nation. Because they, you know, it's clear they don't like him. Like you said, you've polled them, you know what I mean? I'm sure Tim Benz has polled him. Everybody has polled Steelers fans. And the majority of the fans are just not displeased, to say the least, that he's our quarterback right now. And it's like, you know, but
by the way,
I don't think he's going to change anything until he starts playing.
Right. You folks that say, well, I'm not watching this year.
Right. Steelers fan card revoked. Like, you can't call yourself a Steelers fan and not support. Whether you like it or not, you still should want to see him.
Don't show up. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it, you know?
Yeah.
I never watched Game of Thrones. I don't tell everybody I know about that. I've never watched, you know, or Succession or whatever the show. You know, whatever. I don't, you know, you telling me that I'm not going to watch
Tornado. Uh-oh. No, is it just me? It's the Allison Show. Welcome to Chaos. So Joe had told me before we went live that there were tornadoes in the area. So maybe the bird is having a tornado right now. That would be kind of crazy. It's the Allison Show with Allison. Oh, God, this is the worst show ever. So David says 2 years in a row with the quarterback with unusual speech. 2 years in a row. Did I read that right? Last year it was Wilson and his overly positive happy talk. Well, we are apparently still live, and now my face is really big. Yeah, so, yeah, gonna be super interesting. I think a lot of Steelers fans are very eager to hear what he has to say about to hear Aaron Rodgers press conference tomorrow. I think the media, the fans are all geared up to to see what he has to say, and it's got to be good, right? Like I said, he's got to endear himself. So Joe just texted me and said the power went out. So good time for that. Yeah. So he's got to say, I mean, he's a pro, right? Like he's 50 million years old. He's been around the block a bunch of times. He's got to figure out, he's got to say the right things, right? Because if he doesn't, if he slips up, right, he is going to pay royally. Steelers fans are going to let him have it. The media is going to not stop talking about it for the next 3 months. It's going to be really interesting to see what he says. And I think for me, I'm very neutral, right? I'm along the lines of the fans. Just, I am with the fans who are just kind of right about him being here, but I also feel like it could, it could really, is Joe saying more? Well, hopefully be back in a minute. Okay, that's cool. And it's back on. Okay, yay. It's power's back on. Joe's going to be back because I am not prepared to host this thing. Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting. I am prepared to withhold judgment entirely until he plays his first game. Right? That's the bottom line. He's going to be given a little bit of grace, at least by me. Probably some Steelers fans like Leanne Lohman is probably going to give him a little bit of grace because, everybody's rusty in the first couple of weeks, but he's got to really not F up, and if he does, hopefully he F's up enough that we get a really good draft pick in 2026. But no, he, good time. You know what I mean? Like, I think the fact that he signed now, a lot of people were worried that he might not sign in time for mandatory minicamp. And that's really all he needed to do. He didn't need to be there for OTAs. He didn't need to be there for any of those off-season workouts prior to now. I mean, he's going to have to, this is the, the time for him to, start building chemistry. With Metcalf, I mean, obviously they started that a little bit in the spring. But he's got to build some chemistry with Roman Wilson and Shody, Calvin Austin, Robert Woods, Ben Skoranek, Roman Wilson. Like, everybody keeps forgetting about him, myself included. But he's also short, so it's going to be interesting to see how it all comes together, and hopefully they can build a rapport. Joe said they were golfing. That's a good sign. You got to be able to bond with your teammates. That's so important, so critical, because if you don't have that bond with your teammates off the field, how do you expect to have any kind of bond with them on the field, right? You can't it just doesn't work like that. It's nature. It's science. It's the science of things. Okay, Joe, anytime now. Yeah, so that's exciting. But yeah, and David said, we're not talking about the wide receiver anymore. Now we're talking about the quarterback. I beg to differ. Now we're wondering who's going to be wide receiver too. It's the same dialogue that we were having last year, right? George Pickens, wide receiver 1. You know what I mean? Apparently, was he a wide receiver 1? Was he good enough to be a wide receiver 1? And whether Brandon Ayuk was going to come in. So, hi, Joe. Yay. I was doing the show by myself.
Look at you. See, you should do your own podcast. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power went out. I'll bet I'll bet it was those people that I just said. The people that were going to boycott this year. I'll bet they cut the power outside or something like that.
I thought it was a tornado. I was telling everybody. I said, we were just talking about tornadoes.
R.I.P. Joe. Too bad. Oh,
right,
he's gone.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. We do get tornadoes too much around here, so.
Right. Yeah.
So where were we? Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. People are mad.
They are.
Dave mentions Russell Wilson and his overly positive happy talk.
Right.
Russell Wilson was he tried to say all the right things, and it's like he was running for mayor of Pittsburgh or something like that. But it was like you knew it was so damn fake, and it's like I don't care, bro. Just play quarterback. I don't care how many babies you kiss. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. I don't care how many things you smoke. Just play.
Yeah. I mean, that's all we really want to see. Like, blah blah blah. He can say whatever he wants to say tomorrow, but it's really just going to come down to September, whatever day that is.
It's just one yins. I just want one yins. Just one yins. It was really weird. There is I don't know how often you come up here, but one of the things that it's kind of like not a must, but there's a place called Big Jim's in the Run, and it is like the ultimate neighborhood bar / family restaurant. It's this just it's in Greenfield, and it's in just not a bad part of town. It's just so authentically Pittsburgh. It's just in a small neighborhood. I go there, probably once every couple of weeks. The food is absolutely amazing. The people treat you like family. Like no matter what, waitress will just come sit next to you and just tell her about her day or something like that. It's just the most like authentically Pittsburgh thing ever. They have sandwiches like they have a Reuben sandwich like the size of a football. It's amazing. Wow. Anyway, I bring this up because Aaron Rodgers actually went there, which is interesting because right down the road from this Big Jim's in the Run, there is another bar, and it's run by Mike McCarthy's dad.
Like that. Oh, right, because he's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Right. So it's like they're like a couple hundred feet away. So but apparently Aaron Rodgers has gone to this restaurant. So all I want is one yins, maybe a downtown or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe he can mention that he reserved a parking spot with a parking chair or something like with a folding chair or something like that. Something that says I want to be like Pittsburgh or something.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood on loop.
Right. I'm not happy about the people that say Aaron Rodgers is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I'm not happy about that, but I'll let it slide. I don't. Right. I don't care. One thing I did hear is I think he's coming here to rehabilitate not his image, because I don't think he gives a crap what people think about his conspiracy theories and something. But I think basically his football reputation. I think this is just a big, because obviously he's going to retire soon. Right. It ended so bad with the Jets that he wants to at least end on his career on a high note. And also, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what his personal beliefs are, but he did, and you did allude to this, when he was with the Jets, they let him run the entire organization. It's like you can get all your buddies, the coaches you want, all this stuff. You want the coach fired? Go ahead, go fire. I'm like, it was just a joke of an organization. I think he's coming here to shows like, hey, I'm not that bad of a guy. That crap's not gonna fly here. He's not gonna get his pick of coaches or whatever.
Pittsburgh, for better or worse, is a picture of stability, right? Stability. I mean, there's nothing changes in Pittsburgh, so
But the other question is, how is this going to work with what he does and what the Steelers want to do? is this going to fit with the Arthur Smith offense?
Right.
And I think the big question is he going to be allowed to make audibles?
Oh God, that's his bread and butter.
Right.
If they don't let him do that,
We
I
got
would
big
be,
problems.
yeah. I would be, yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Because you would think Russell Wilson, right? He's had plenty of experience, right? I could see Justin Fields. I mean, I was upset that they weren't letting Justin Fields do it. I was upset they weren't letting Kenny Pickett do it.
Right.
But if you're not letting Aaron Rodgers call audibles, it's not Aaron Rodgers is not the problem. It's everybody else, in my opinion.
Exactly.
But we're obviously getting ahead of the game. I can't see, you would think that those conversations have been had already, right? So I can't see him wanting to have signed here if they weren't going to let him, draw plays in the dirt like Ben Roethlisberger used to do. But this is also unprecedented, right? We've never, I mean, obviously Ben Roethlisberger, but we drafted him and he became a star. We've never drafted a player of this caliber in terms of his image, right? In terms of like everybody knows who this guy is, and everybody knows what he stands for. So it's really going to be interesting.
I mean, yeah, when you're talking about credentials, Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is one of the maybe top 10 quarterbacks of all time. He is as good as Ben was. Ben is also almost in that tier, but Aaron Rodgers is higher. Aaron Rodgers has higher.
Oh, you think that Rodgers is higher, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's close because I think Ben is also one of the greatest of all time, but I would put Aaron Rodgers a little bit higher than him. I mean, dude's won 4 MVPs.
Right.
How many MVPs has Ben won?
That's true. Yeah.
So
I think Ben kind of got screwed on that, but
Ben had to deal with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning almost his entire career. Like that wasn't fun.
Nope.
But you imagine. But one thing that is encouraging is when Aaron Rodgers first started, when he first started with the Jets, his entire season consisted of carrying a flag, and then 2 players later he blew out his Achilles. They say that it takes a long time to recover from blowing out your Achilles. And that's why at the beginning of the 2024 season, he sucked because he was still hurting from that. But toward the end of the season, he was doing better. He was more mobile. And I have numbers here for the last 5 games of the 2024 season. His completion percentage was 64.2%, passing yards per game, 254, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a passing rating of 98.3. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take those numbers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially considering what we've had for the past 3 years.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
He is supposed to be, obviously, and we saw this with Ben toward the end of his career, he will get the ball out fast.
Yeah. Oh, he will. Yeah. That's
and he's supposed to be a great, analyzer of defenses and stuff like that. So he's famous for his progressions and his audibles and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I'm excited. I think I'm just hoping. I think the biggest thing to prevent this from working is him getting hurt. That scares me.
Yeah. Because I mean, I think even if we didn't, like last year, George Pickens was wide receiver 1, right? And we didn't really have that true, second receiver.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like if it ends up being the same thing this year, it's DK Metcalf as wide receiver 1, and then we have a bunch of 3s and 4s.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, it can't work. I'm sorry. We need something else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do. But last year, somehow we still ended up, I don't know, doing
we
things.
still ended up 10-7 and in the playoffs.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and people are so down on the Steelers, and they, you know, all you hear about is, well, Tomlin, all he does is go 9-8 and but we have to remember this was kind of a rebuild.
Yeah.
Ever since Ben has retired, we basically did a rebuild. And instead of sucking during the rebuild, we were okay. So
Yeah.
in theory, the final piece of this rebuild will be the quarterback we get next year. Whoever this magical savior is.
Yeah.
Who obviously will not be a bust, because no quarterback the Steelers draft is a bust.
Right. Exactly.
What if he's good? What if Aaron Rodgers is good and like he takes him to like the AFC Championship game or something like that, and he has like 30 touchdowns, and
touchdowns.
Would they consider bringing him back?
I would think so. But then, the money, he'd want money, and a lot of it. So, God, I hope. Just for that reason alone, I hope he's not. Just because I don't want to deal with this again. You know what I mean? Like, we've already dealt with, is Rodgers coming or is he not coming? And now it's finally answered. Now, you know what I mean? If he's any good, you know what I mean? And if he could still do some things, I mean.
I think no matter what, he's gone. I think no matter what, because I think this is part of the handshake agreement. Like,
It's
like, okay, bro, we'll put up with you for this year, but after that, we can't do this anymore.
It would just be another nightmare next year if we had to deal with that. Just, is he gonna sign? Is he not gonna sign? It'd be the same thing again.
I can't. I just can't. It just was so annoying. And like, I can't do this every week, say the same thing over and over again. And like, when's he coming? Like, I can't do this anymore.
No. Yeah, because and this is the same with the media outlets, right? We're all just regurgitating the same thing over and over and over again. And now we'll have some fresh material tomorrow after and during his press conference.
I'm just really interested to see how he's probably going to say, I've always respected the Steelers organization. It's a great time. I've always just, Pittsburgh is a hardworking, probably say a hardworking town or whatever. Blue collar, he'll probably say. Say wonderful things about Tomlin. Maybe he'll have Tomlin like on his lap or something like that. Maybe he'll be like the whole time, like those high school like romances and stuff where like they're just hanging all over each other.
Right.
Tomlin's just gonna be like not nudging up against him, like laying on his shoulders or whatever.
Like a cat who rubs on your face.
Every once in a while, Tom will be like, "What are you thinking?"
That would be hilarious. That would be so funny.
Honestly, Tomlin will probably be there, like off to the side,
right?
Like, like with just a big grin, like
right. Finally got my man.
Yeah, this is why they pay me.
Right? Yeah. Oy.
We'll see. I'm just this it's finally over. At least this part of the journey is finally over.
Exactly.
Is there anything to look forward to in mini camp? Or the other thing is, here's the crazy thing. Yes, we've talked about DK Metcalf.
Right.
But we haven't really talked about him because all we've been talking about is Aaron Rodgers these past few months.
Right.
Like we don't know whether how's Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf going to be, like, because we weren't 100% sure that Aaron Rodgers was coming. So now we can finally talk about DK Metcalf. You say that you think it's actually a little bit of a downgrade from Pickens, or do you think?
No, I just mean I don't know that it's. I mean, age, like, I sort of feel like it's pretty. I feel like it's pretty even. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like Metcalf's gonna just be leaps and bounds better than what we had with Pickens, in my opinion. But
here's the thing: when DK Metcalf was first drafted,
Mm-hmm.
I said he has bust written all over him because
Ah,
the dude is the most muscular man
he is.
maybe on the planet. I mean, he's
Right.
basically a bodybuilder. He's basically
Yeah.
and it's like, how is this gonna work out to be a wide receiver? Like, dude, you're
Mhm.
working out too much.
Right. Yeah.
And then I was proven wrong, but
Mhm.
still, he's not like this superstar thing.
Mm-mm. No. I mean, he's not like Hall of Fame. He doesn't have like Hall of Fame numbers. I mean, he has good numbers. He has great numbers.
Honestly, I don't know what's so. I don't want to say it was. I don't know what's so good about him because I haven't seen him that much. So I
Right.
don't
Right.
know what his strengths are. Obviously, his
Mhm.
strengths are his strength because he could
Right.
probably throw people off, literally just throw them off and throw
Yeah.
them into the upper deck and stuff. But
Right.
what is he like? What so I mean, I know what Pickens can do. Basically, you
Right.
just throw him a
Right.
deep ball and he damn catches it. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the other thing is like, okay, what if you do get another wide receiver? What kind of wide receiver do you want?
Right. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're not going to learn a damn thing about mini camp is basically just OTAs, but everybody shows up.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's not like who
Mhm.
is it? Somebody was tracking passing stats of OTAs, and
I think it was the Steelers Depot guy, wasn't it?
no, it was
Oh.
some other dude or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Some other yeah. And I'm sorry, that's the dumbest thing that's ever existed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Even training camp stats are just really stupid.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. The Steelers Depot guy did it last year.
Yeah, that's just totally idiotic. But yeah, they're not really gonna do anything.
Mm-mm.
I just wish we knew something about Roman Wilson. that
Right.
I just wish.
Yeah. I mean, Kabali says he's jacked. He says he's super muscular. So he's like maybe DK Metcalf light.
Interesting.
Yeah, he said apparently I've been saying his name wrong for years. I've been saying Mark Kabali for like 20 years.
Wait, what is it?
Apparently it's Kabali.
No.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Kaboli.
Well, I don't know. I think that's how McAfee says it.
Isn't his nickname Kaboom? It's Kaboom, not Kabam. Come on.
Right. I heard McAfee say Kabali. I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe it's Kabali. I mean, maybe I thought it was right and I'm wrong, and now I'm wrong, and now I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe it is Kabali. I don't know.
If you're watching, Mark.
Yeah, if you're watching, yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Kabali, what is it? Yeah, no, he's been singing the praises of Roman Wilson, so I mean, for whatever that's worth, right? He's a short guy. He's a shorty. I don't know.
He's a short king.
He's a short. Yeah. So.
Yeah, see, I don't know. He's left a bad taste in our mouth because he got hurt and then he really didn't do anything, and then when he got healthy, he still didn't do anything. So it's like,
right.
What are you doing, dude? But really, it's like, to me, he's just like an extra third round draft pick for this year. To me, he's a rookie. So
right,
okay, let's see what you could do. But
right, yeah,
I don't know.
Fingers crossed. That's all we can do, really. I mean, that's if you could put an image of pick an image of the Steelers offseason this year to describe what it's going to be like, it's going to be this. Just a bunch of people just like
that's it. There's just a lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions. Yeah, and I feel like Rodgers signing, has created more questions than there were before he signed. I mean, it's a very weird thing.
I wonder if that means that all the attention, and I mean all the attention, is going to go on Aaron Rodgers, and the other 89 people on the team are going to be just completely ignored, which they would probably love. But
yeah, especially TJ Watt, right? I mean, he's just probably going to be like, hell yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I don't have to do any press conferences anymore. That's
right. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we don't know whether TJ Watt is gonna, he's in the middle of a contract dispute. Oh, by the way, he's gonna do nothing until he signs his contract, which I think is actually a good thing. I mean,
right. Yeah. I mean, people are freaking out, but I mean, it happens all the damn time, right?
We
It happens all the
literally saw this a few
we
years
literally
ago.
don't sign people until like the week before the regular season starts sometimes.
With TJ Watt, we literally saw it. I mean, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. End of August, like a few days before the season starts, he's going to sign the contract.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
There. I've predicted the future. There you go.
Right,
now you know what's going to happen.
You're a modern day Kreskin right now. That's what's going on.
He's not getting traded.
No.
Don't even think about it. He's not.
No.
It's not happening.
No. But we're still going to write a bunch of articles about it.
Somebody wrote an article that said, should Aaron Rodgers just take the number 12 from Terry Bradshaw? And people got big mad.
Yeah.
Like just think about it. Joe Namath had number 12, and Joe Namath even said to him, "Was like, dude, you can have my number." And Aaron's like, "No, I respect you, man. I'll just take another number."
Right?
You really think he's gonna take Terry Bradshaw's number? I think that's my theory, because Terry Bradshaw, like a week or so ago, was like, he's out there eating bark, whatever. Like, I think he was trashing Aaron Rodgers because he heard it's like Aaron Rodgers is gonna take your number, Terry Bradshaw. I was like, no, he's not. No. So I'll bet that's why Terry Bradshaw didn't
right? Yeah, probably.
We'll see.
Yeah, he can have 8. Have it. No.
Oh no!
It has no. Oh no! It has zero significance to Steelers fans.
Him taking 8 has because there's a lot of people with Kenny Pickett jerseys.
Oh yeah. Oh
So he's doing us a favor.
I'm
sure you could get like an official thing, like a nameplate kind of thing, or
right? Yeah, you can. Yeah,
not duct tape, but
right. Duct tape looks so much better. It's so much more Pittsburgh, right?
I think it makes a statement.
It does. I agree. I like it.
Yeah,
stick with it.
Yeah, I think that's ingenuity right there.
Oh, it's without a doubt.
It's Yinzer ingenuity. It's Yingenuity. Okay.
Love it.
On that note, we need to end because now we're making up words.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's too bad because if Fields was here, your phrase "let Fields plow" would have really taken off. But
that would have so been good. I'd have copyrighted that. I'd have made millions.
It would have been shirts in the strip district.
Right. Oh yeah. No doubt.
All right.
We're gonna have to make one up for Rodgers though. We'll have to figure that out.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have to. Probably. I don't know. Probably something about a darkness retreat or something like that. Like,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Smoke with Aaron or something. I don't know.
Smoke with Aaron. That'll be our homework.
This is something that you can never have. Well, Franco's has officially retired. I think they officially retired Terry's. No, I think it's just Franco and Mean Joe Green.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I think there should be a whole bunch of numbers retired.
Oh yeah, but Pittsburgh's so like.
Different. Yeah, you can't do 52 for Webster. You can't do 58 for Jack Lambert or 59 for Jack Ham. You shouldn't do 88 for Lynn Swan. You shouldn't do 82 for John Stallworth. 86, yeah, I could see honoring the Heinz Award or something like that.
That's 7.
I think the problem becomes you run out of numbers.
Right. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. But at least they started opening up like the Steelers haven't done it yet. But they got or did they do it with the 0? Does somebody take 0? Did they ever do 0? I can't remember.
Nobody has taken 0, and I think the unofficial stance is they don't want anybody to take 0.
Right.
I think they don't want. I think that's just not a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, like other teams can do it, but hey, Pittsburgh isn't doing it. That's fine.
We're not. It's not tradition enough for us.
Right. Yeah.
While we're at it, we're talking about tradition. It's time to bring back the block numbers.
Oh yeah.
We've had these
numbers,
round numbers for a long time now. It's time to go back to the blocks.
Yes.
Let's do it.
We should. You know what? That's what Aaron Rodgers should say in his press conference.
Uh-huh.
would endear himself to
Right.
fans no matter what he did.
What if he said, oh, and by the way, Jesse James caught that ball. We would just love him to death. Like, yeah, you're one of
That's how
us.
he would sign off. Jesse James caught the ball and then just walk away. There you go. Oh man, that would be great. Hopefully Aaron's watching right now. I bet you he is. I
Sure.
bet you he's watching right
Sure.
now.
Hi,
He's like,
Aaron
oh,
Rodgers.
Joe
How you
gave me so
doing?
many good ideas.
I'm sorry. I hope you don't get any lower jersey sales because I reappropriated it.
It looks like something you'd find on the rack at Gabe's or something, right?
Probably.
Good
I could
times.
see the strip district doing something like this.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
for real, like just not like fake duct tape or something like that.
They should. That'd be great.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
It was great to host your show for a whole 2 minutes.
This is see, I gotta go back and listen to
how
you did. I'm sure you did great.
It really was. I did great. Yes.
I was freaking out. It was like of all the times,
Right?
now the
Yeah.
power
Exactly.
goes out.
The show that Aaron Rodgers is watching.
Right. What a horrible first impression we
Exactly.
All
All right,
I'll
man. See you later. Bye.